where the strongest lanes are and who's going to find the farm where. I still feel that Batrider is the pick to go to now. Ryan, we have to remember the jungle, it's been changed a little bit as far as, like, the start. Like, it seems like you got to do, like, a double stack pull kind of a thing, but can you still fall back and be, like, a jungling kind of a hero? Let's say if the Batrider is offlane and has a bad offlane experience, can you still fall back and work with the jungle like you used to, or is that, like, not a part of the game anymore?
I think it's still part of the game, but it's not quite so reliable. I think there aren't that many camps that you can easily go between and that you can pull together. So remember what you used to be able to do is the medium camp or the hard camp in Dire Jungle, you used to be able to, like, eat the trees and then pull them together quite easily with Firefly. You could take, like, 2 stacks at once, which was quite a cool thing you could do. There are still camps close enough together that you can do that on Dire side. I think it's still a hard medium, but obviously they only spawn on the odd minutes. So there's a lot less farm to be had. I think you're more likely to be going for bounty runes. You probably pick up a bottle like Tranquil Beach bottle. That's probably a thing that you're going to go for. I still think that early picking a Batrider like this, it makes drafting a lot easier because there's not in a draft where you have Batrider as your kind of going hero that goes and things. You don't necessarily want to pick the other heroes very early on. So I still think it's reasonable. I'm not sure how he fares. If his lane doesn't go too well, they're probably against Nyx.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Nyx is looking like a fabulous pick. Obviously, a go-to grab against the Batrider. So it leaves me a bit surprised that they didn't opt to ban the Nyx, but I guess they just found more fear in the Darkseer game once again. So they'll be put in a situation where the Nyx is not only going to be a great counter against the Batrider, he's good to kind of spot things out for the Wisp as well, to be able to kind of make some setup plays into the mid-game period. Alternate attacks, though, grab up the Warlock here, so if they want to build on even more ridiculous team fight, it could cause some utter destruction here. But, I don't know. Then again, I want to see just some more new things. I want to see some more taking advantage of 7.0. I want to see some supports who are supports and become, cores now.
Okay. I want to see Spirit Breaker.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourite level 25 talents, actually. Either you become a literal race car, and then the taxi service gets upgraded, like almost the speed almost doubles, I think, or you make the other team very, very angry.
What is it, a Bash Lord? He becomes a Bash Lord at that point, right?
Bash chance gets doubled, yeah.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
You get any kind of attack speed and someone on the enemy team is going to have a very bad day. It's nice to think about, isn't it?
It is.
But we're probably not going to see it in this game because Nyx kind of fulfills the same kind of role.
Very true.
Although there is a whisper, like I wouldn't pick it with Warlock though. It's kind of like hard to. But
what about Tiny though? I mean, Tiny Wisp is like what used to be the common
go-to
peanut butter and jelly. But Tiny's been, I want to say, buffed a bit, or he's got a mighty good late game. I guess we'll find out. So there he is.
Yeah, they did change his Craggy now, so. When you're a ranged hero and you end up in the fight, like say you're a Luna or a Morphling, right? And you have to fight this big scary tiny man, right? And then you have to stay a certain distance away, otherwise you're going to get craggied. That's no longer a problem. It's on at max rank. The armor got buffed as well. So yeah, I think he's just a better hero than he used to be. And he's much better against melee cores. 5 seconds remaining.
Well, I like the adjustment,
though. By picking Podham at this point, I think they're giving the Wisp Tiny a pretty easy lane, and I think that's a dangerous thing to do.
10 seconds.
It's all going to be. I think this game's going to depend on how much the. Okay.
Oh, I hope that's like a 4-position Chaos Knight.
Might not be. You could just have lots of big, strong melee heroes that will run at higher.
I mean, those are two of the best, Wisp pairings in the game.
10 seconds.
Everyone already knows, obviously, or if you don't already know, Chaos Knight has that new Agnum's upgrade in 7.0, when you can pretty much Manta anyone else on your team. I mean, already thinking about that with Tiny seems pretty sexy, but I don't know. It is a lot of melee bruisers here. Alternate attacks, I don't know if they have room in their lineup for the likes of a Timbersaw, but he looks like he would have a pretty fun time this game. Wisp, Tiny, and Chaos Knight. But
yeah, I was thinking Timber as well, but the bottom probably indicates that they want to have bottom mid and then just have Warlock kind of secure their safe lane. Because what aTTaX usually do, or they used to do, quite a lot, is they were trying to make their safe lane completely unassailable, and they would have one hero which definitely had a lot of farm, and then they would run around with that hero, and then they take objectives. And this is another example of that. They pick Lynx, which will, you want to offlane against that, then you get to offlane against Searing Arrows, and then you're going to have a wonderful time.
Another fellow archer here could be a little squishy if caught on the bad side of a gank or a team fight, but as you mentioned, could definitely make an impact in the laning phase as far as just being a serious bully with those Searing Arrows. I don't even know yet who's slated to be in that off lane right now, but at least they have potential to kind of see what it is they're going to be going up against. And just having, like, I don't know, I haven't seen too much off lane Clink since, like, Funnick when he was, you know, I don't know if he was still on Navi at that point or...
Squishier heroes in the game. People don't think it, like, he's got great exterior, he's a big amount of rock, but yeah. Tiny's main problem in a lot of games is that he's just a very squishy hero, and you get the blink, you get the Shadow Blade, you kill one person, you get out, you go back in again, because Tiny just, until he gets like a whole assortment of items, he's just not really good at man fighting for the longest period of time.
I wanted to look up here to see exactly what... I knew there was a Clink's change in 7.0 as well, but it looked like, yeah, Death Pack cooldown rescaled a bit, aka brought down a bit. Does still start with 45 seconds, but 35... From 35 now is 30, and what was 25 at 3 is now 15. So every 15 seconds at level 3, he'll be able to partake in a Death Pack
doesn't
here.
Stack, does it? No way it stacks.
No... I don't know. I want to say no, but it's Dota.
Yeah, like,
I don't know if it's something they've double-checked.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't stack. Like, there's no way that stacks, right? Because otherwise you just have Clinks running around with like 4,000 health hitting like trucks. Yeah. And we just will have to bow down to Clinks ascending into the heavens, and that's a Venomancer.
That's probably... Do you think it's Jungle Venomancer? Because I want to say the new Jungle Venomancer is even better on this new map than it was in the old one. At least from the brief pubbage I saw with my terrible level of pubbage. People were going crazy with it. They were just like taking, because the 3 stacks of creeps are like closer together that you could just plant the wards in the middle, and they just keep getting drawn in, and you just easily shred them apart. Let me see, like right over here, like you got 3 camps. They would just plop down all the wards right here in the middle. Up here on this side, you can put it
camp on the hard camp.
Yeah, same thing up over here too. Right in the middle, you can just bring all the creeps together and just plop down wards. And man, Venomancer's level 25 is also pretty damn ridiculous. 3 times Plague Ward HP and damage. You know,
just can't get rid of them. Like, there is literally no hero in the game that does enough damage and has enough attack speed that it's viable to stop and kill a Plague Ward that comes up every 5 seconds.
Yeah. No joke, I played a pub last night with a 4-stack, and our one pub was a Venomancer, never said a word, just went into the jungle with an Iron Talon. We held our own in the laning phase, but eventually went into a Midas, and then went into an Octarine Core, and an Agnums, and just, yeah, they couldn't stop the wards. It was pretty damn ridiculous, so I don't know if they'll be blessed with the same kind of opportunity or not, but we are underway here, as it's aTTaX versus Elements here. Yeah, Swift ending here, running into some trouble, gotta get flanked now, but without stuns, they have no way to kind of stop the little beetle from making it away.
Mitch will claim the top bounty rune, and Dia will claim the 2 on the right hand side. So, Gogi is the roaming CK.
Ah, a little bit of that fluff and stuff action. I like that.
CK, have you seen this stuff now? Reality of Pierce is spell immune, so you can pull people in without BKB, or through their BKBs. His Ags, I think now, his Ags makes the illusions of other people. Yeah. So you can just have loads of really big tinies running around.
I want to say that's the plan. You know, that they're trying to flex off a little bit of their 7.0 science here, and I hope it works out for them. We'll have to see.
Right, so support Batrider, support Warlock, and it's going to be Venomancer being annoying middle, and he's going to get ran at, but is he going to get caught with the Avalanche? I think they could have blocked him there.
They need a bit more. Can they get it? One more right click would do it, but Gogi's not liking the tower damage he's taken. They're going to share the aggro and just go for the deny. But LeBron not going to be so fortunate, or will he? Tether's closer, but yeah, and he gets denied too. Very nicely done there. But I mean, they do lose 2 heroes right in front of the Veno, but they almost get him down. Exotic Deer barely able to slither away from that one. The stun toss was not enough. He almost has mana for another toss, but looks like it's not going to happen. A lot of bloodshed, but no kills rewarded.
Yeah, so that's a bit... Batrider could just try and get a kill here.
Hold on, I gotta get this thing fixed. Whew. Okay, sorry. Almost pulled a
Batrider's
casual
coming
call
in, the Gale. Oh, this is so painful to watch. Imagine being this tiny right now. You get Galed by the Venomancer, and Batrider's just standing atop you.
And they'll get
That's
it
a
done.
horrible way to die.
Oof, thank God I didn't have a
meanwhile,
draft
top
overlay
lane.
still up for that one. But top lane at that same moment, they will also share kills. Simultaneous action breaks out. Kills split a piece here. Obviously a favorable one going the way of aTTaX as they shove that Tiny right back. But he will TP right back into the mid lane on this one.
Oh, Nisha could be in trouble now. Also, if he doesn't have Invis, he kind of got juked for the first Kuchi, so that's not going to work out. But Batrider will claim the bounty rune there. Exotic Deer claims the bounty rune over there. So, with CK, they tried their first gank, didn't really work out. It was kind of sad, but then they did it again. They got the kill. So, all kind of works out. Leading on CS is the Clinks, followed by the Tiny, followed by the Bottom. So, overall, I think Radiant are getting a better laning stage right now, especially with the fact that their Wisp isn't doing horribly. But the fact that Batrider is having a decent time of it means that Tiny and the Wisp are gonna be worried about fighting against that.
Oh, come on, it's only 2.5 minutes and 1-1 apiece. Surely you can't draw conclusions on this laning phase already.
No, I'm just saying what could happen, not what is. Not what
Ice
is
Frog
going
did
to
not
happen.
patch for this. He wants this game
Alright,
to
so
be closer.
Nix has got his Blightstone now. Nix is one of the better heroes laning against this. You got the Poor Man Shield, you got the bonus regen, so he shouldn't have a too difficult time staying up here. So the Nix getting a pretty early level 6 is one of the main things that Elements are going to use to take fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, putting a lot of tension up here, though. I mean, CK and Wisp are now looking like a...
Is the overlay still on? Or did
No,
you
I
fix that?
already
Right,
fixed
okay,
it.
yeah, okay.
It's just that
Yeah,
2 minute
I figured
delay.
that was the thing, yeah.
Don't worry, I got it before the first blood. Oh, but I missed that one. Bottom lane, they are going to be able to get the jump onto the Mirana. They'll take him down. Swift Ending will walk away, nomming down a tree to kind of get the extra regen. Top lane, Clinks also going to get dropped. Looks like they were able to kind of get the stun off and pull him back into trouble. That Wisp CK roaming duo perched on the side for payoff in mid lane. Tiny! Scorched apart with the fire and with the poison here. Nothing else to say, but Batrider will go down as an exchange. Cole will at least get the benefit from that one, but still an advantage for aTTaX in the mid lane. Trades again back and forth.
Oh, the Wisp CK
lane.
coming in, but
Woo.
no, too late. Yeah, so Clink's realizing just how squishy his hero is at this point, but I think Warlock will stay up here now to... Oh, so will Batrider. But Wisp CK grows stronger, and they're acquiring runes together, and they're looking for battle. And they might find it.
Off to battle. Gogi waiting on the side here, but there are 3 from aTTaX. They're like, you know what? Let them come again. They're baiting out this Clinks right now. In hopes that someone's going to make the jump. There they go for it. Will the counterplay be there? Oh, swing and a miss on the stun. And now they turn it back, looking to go for LeBron. He's going to be able to live. Wisp is back and out, but look at this. The Batrider shows his ugly mug and will be able to burn on forward. Gets the takedown of the Nyx. LeBron says, I'm here to help you, buddy, but he might have put himself in trouble. Got it. One more right click will take him down. And it is going to be Elements who lose 2. Game now even, 4-4. Payoff right there, aTTaX. Baiting him.
Yeah, that was just a mistake from Elements. They just didn't dust early enough, so the stun just didn't hit. Losing the CK stun in that situation is just completely detrimental. There's no way they win the fight if they don't get that stun. And they would have got the Clinks and they would have got out if they did, but that's how things happen, I guess. No. Podem is now... She's doing okay. She's getting level 5. She's getting bounty runes. Weaver's farming just a tiny bit worse, but there's nothing really in that. But what I'm curious about is just... Tiny's just getting XP and a decent amount of CS, and Veno is just being Venomancer, but I don't think they're getting as much out of this Veno pick as they would have liked, but it's 5 minutes in, so...
Yeah. It's early, but, I mean, Tiny can't do anything about these wards now, so... He's just kind of stuck waiting for the creeps to push near the tower and hoping to get some last hits under the tower, which obviously no mid laner really wants to be stuck doing, but... There will be continual pressure here by Exotic Deer, and while they can leave him to fend for himself, the rest of the team is still kind of rotating up here. CK and Wisp still looking to do battle. This time they'll move in, and they will be able to get the little Warlock, an easy takedown, but now Batrider takes to the skies. Carapace, double stun right there, nicely done by Mitch. But as they try to head on out, it looks like Deer has shown up to play, and there goes all the poison, all that sticky goo, and it's going to be able to bring down the Wisp, and it's going to get the takedown of Gogi. So rotation there, questioning the relevance of where the Venomancer was going to be. Well, those kills will help him out quite a bit. He's almost level 6, and we'll have an option to go for the Poison Nova if he wants.
No.
But yeah, this early roaming of Wisp CK isn't really working out as well as they would like, but Exotic Deer is under attack.
Caster's Curse.
And Exotic Deer is dead.
He is dead for sure. Warlock, he just got back! He's dead again! And double kill suddenly for Cole. Alright, Elements really off to the races after that now. Lose a couple there in the top lane, bounce right back. Getting some redemption here in the mid lane. But has left a little bit of space for Faye now. With all the attention off of him, he can farm up a bit up in this top lane. I was going to say the same for Mirana, but it looks like she's already been bullied back and out from the lane. As,
she not so bad. She's got what she wants. She's got her Aquila, she's got her wand, she's got Max Starstorm now, so she can go and fight. She doesn't really want to fight elsewhere, but she can like join enough. Oh, Pink's under attack again, but he's going to invis, and no dust comes out in time. So I'm just afraid Batrider and Warlock are just going to be really under-leveled from this early game.
Target acquired. Arrow is obviously going to be off the mark for Elements. And as they prowl the land here, does aTTaX could run across Mitch, but no vision to scout him out here. And he'll just be around to kind of sap up the XP instead. Waiting for a time to strike. Here comes reinforcements, and they go right for the Clinks. And with the Rift back, they'll be able to bring him down. Faye's going to get dropped on that one, and the rest of aTTaX are going to have to back on out. Gogi, man, trying to be the enforcer on his CK. He even grabs up the bounty rune here and says, "This is my country."
Main thing I'm seeing from Dire is like, before Rock, there's really no counter-initiation potential whatsoever. Like, they're very good if like they're chasing people down with Napalm and Firefly and people are Galed and things like that, but if your Clinks is getting gone on, there's really not much that a Batrider or a Warlock who's level 3 can do.
Okay, Nisha tried to get off the arrow, didn't connect, and then LeBron shows up, joins Gogi a bit. Oh, and a double heal of the Shrine. LeBron will hang back and hand over the double regen. Toss on forward, Mitch. Nice Carapace locks him down, waits with the stun. They'll get the connection. That was like a little bit of a Harlem Globetrotters play. I like that. Elements. Good little teamwork right there, and they pull ahead now 10-6 in the kill count.
Yep, Clinks and Warlock have decided the top lane is too dangerous, and they are moving down to pressure this tier 1 bottom. Mitch is already here, however, and Wisp is not level 6, so that's not a threat currently, but they are smoking down to bottom, so
yep.
Time is limited for this power attacking squad bot lane.
Warlock at level 4 here. He is waiting for a tome, I'm sure, in his near future, but they are persistent on getting this tier 1. That's a mini Ravage as they get the nice 3-man stun connection right there from Mitch. Faye trying to make it back and away, gets poisoned up, but then there's Gogi to cut him off, and they'll take him down. Follow-up kills also going to be there as they get the takedown of both the Warlock and the Venomancer. It's a triple takedown all day for Elements. The others from ATN trying to make it back and away, but look at this Weaver rushing right in on the action. Cole jumps forward too, a toss on in. Can they get the finish for Potom? They want to get Mirana down, and they'll do it. Nice job there. Okay, Gogi, can he get the pullback? Yeah, he's trying to get a reality rift, but that bat is a bit too far.
Yeah, so they overstayed their welcome by quite a long time. They just didn't think about the Nyx being there. They didn't have any sentries down, which happens when your supports are extremely underfarmed, as Warlock is currently. But Gogi has perished, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'll get at least one little forgiving kill right there, but it has been a hard life for aTTaX here. Trying to at least step away from what has been a troublesome top lane and trying to get an advantage, which pushing that tier 1 in the bottom only causes more destruction, but they will... Oh, that was a neutral kill onto LeBron. We'll send him back. Doesn't it add extra respawn time now, though, if you die to a neutral creep?
Yeah, I think it was like you have the same death time as a level 12 hero automatically, I think.
Ah.
Which actually made the level 1 kind of recovery of the double deny quite efficient, because that doesn't incur the same penalty.
We see their bottom lane. Nisha, who makes a return, unfortunately goes down right away. Still not kind of anticipating everyone who's been around. Ever since Mitch has been able to get his level 6, Nick's Assassin has already been setting up so much for his team, and I don't wager that's going to be stopping anytime soon. So.
Yep, he's getting closer and closer to his dagger. Batrider has got level 6, but obviously he's support, so he doesn't really have that much. The Warlock level 6 is one of the most important things, but the Clinks doesn't have much farm right now, so I think they need to bait the Wisp CK into relocating onto the Clinks, and then basically show up with a Venom ulti and a Rock.
Yeah.
And then hope everyone just kind of disappears from there, which is what things tend to do when getting hit by
Rift for Faye. They got a dust. They're looking to go. Clinks turns the corner, trying to juke through the trees in the creep wave, but eventually is going to get caught up. Mitch will help get the finish on that one, and it has been a hard life for your little bone Fletcher.
Oh, dagger on Tiny, and they're pinging out the Veno. Are things about to happen?
Things might be happening here, Ryan. Here's Cole, waiting. Blink dagger in
Thinking
pocket.
about it. They know the Rock's there. They see him.
Int treads, just in case he needs the double bit of mana, but it looks like he'll step back and settle instead for the bounty rune.
And then he grabs the DD right after. And Potom... Oh, is he going to bait this rune? No.
I don't know. Oh, he tried to leave it for swift ending on that one, but unfortunately in passing, Mirana's going to snag it up. How important, though, they got to make this Rock Wombo combo count.
This Rock has to work. If this Rock doesn't work, then yeah, it... You're making fun of me. Alright, so... Yeah, they have to get this Rock down, otherwise Tiny's going to get another 2-3 minutes of being able to run around the map, because he's got his Blink now, the Wisp is level 6, so... And the Nyx also has his dagger. So the map becomes very, very scary at this point. So they're looking for a smoke.
Oh, and it gets popped. Gogi hanging nearby, dodges the arrow, steps back, and... Crisis may be averted there from Elements because of that one. Mitch is already amongst them. Connects with the Vendetta, misses with the stun, tries to Carapace and run back and away, but they wait it out, get the lasso, get the pullback into a Starstorm, into a kill. Alright, aTTaX are not going to be able to get the big team fight they were hoping for with that smoke, but they will get a nice little forgiving kill on the Nyx Assassin, so...
Yeah, so I think they're kind of... They need this kind of thing to happen. They need to catch the Nyx Assassin out. They need to have time where they can farm without worrying if, like, oh my god, is there a Nyx on me? Am I about to get relocated on? And Ninja 7, whatever he's called, is dead.
They will try to counter it with a Rock, or maybe he was trying to get a Rock to stop him. Whatever the case may be, this Rock isn't going to be leading to a whole lot. And Elements just kind of quickly disperse once they see it drop down. Uh-oh.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And aTTaX obviously probably going to look to try to push forward a bit. The return of LeBron is just going to lead to a tether across the street. And he makes it away. And now with the Chaotic Offering already out there, Elements could look to line up a team fight themselves. Cole is waiting up north there, trying to see if maybe he can get a good jump in. Oh, man, money now for swift ending as he just takes down that Golem like it's nothing. It's got to be a bit demoralizing at the moment for aTTaX.
Yeah, they're basically going for... So, CK's got his drum now, Tiny's going to go for Shadow Blade, Wisp going for Deso. Oh,
how you doing? How you doing? Oh,
he's going to barely survive that. But all it takes is one fight with Golem, and Clinks will get some free space to right click, and he does a ridiculous amount of damage even now.
They are going to be able to get that finish onto the Bat, and the follow-up kill onto the Cat Lady, tossing her up and down. 9 lives, quickly getting shredded apart right here, unfortunately. They will be able to get return fire as LeBron gets taken it down from Faye. Stun combo, though. Gogi now looking to go for the finish, and we'll get it onto the Warlock. aTTaX lose another 2. But it doesn't stop there. One by one, they try to file in now. Faye kind of getting in on the action. As Venomancer's just trying to make the best out of getting some wards down here in the meantime. But it's Elements who are just kind of posturing up as a dominant force right now. I mean, 20 and 9.
All they really want is just the game to slow down a bit. They want to get extra levels on Clinks. They want to get and his Deso. They've got the Veil on Venomancer. Maybe LeBron gonna die here.
Yes, he is.
That's important. They need that. Without the Wisp, Radiant really don't feel comfortable fighting. Without the Relocate, it means that people can farm lanes freely. They don't have to worry about follow-up.
Say they should be not keen to fighting without the Wisp, but Gogi's been fighting this whole game. Now he finds himself in a bit of a pickle as he gets hog-tied up, pulled back. Good Carapace will stun them down, though. And now they're jumping from Cole. He quickly bursts and takes down the little Fletcher. Gogi, though, going to get sniped from the back lines there. Nicely done from Marana. Swift Ending gets the finish, though, as Venomancer's going to get dropped over on the right-hand side. Cole looking to move into the trees. Sees that Bat Rider. Throws him up and down, and Swift Ending will also pick that one up. Double kill for him. Warlock trying to creep in on the action. Has his Chaotic Offering now, but he's late to the fight. And now he's just like, please, have mercy, I'm a Warlock. Dead. Screw you, Warlock. They shove his head into the shrine, and they peace out. And they take down 4 all day, only losing Gogi.
Yeah, they didn't have Rock, so fighting without Rock is still a very dangerous idea. Even if Wisp is dead. It's... like, if you're not actually hitting anybody, and Wisp doesn't actually have to heal anyone, then it doesn't really matter if the Wisp isn't there, because everyone was just kind of running away from the scary Tiny and the scary CK. Which I think is what Radiant kind of want.
What do we do now for aTTaX? I mean, you have the Rock now, so back to the farm a bit, and you just gotta hope, man, you can line up the Fatal Bonds, the Rock, the Venomancer ulti.
Just get your Klink's Deso, I think. You get your Klink's Deso.
Yeah, he's getting close to it. He's getting close.
Get one counter initiation with Rock, and then you kill 2 or 3 heroes in that Rock, which is still very, very easy to do.
Oh, Cole have spotted little Nisha here, but luckily for the Marana, she has enough life with the courtesy of that point booster. She'll be able to leap away from the trouble.
Yep, that's the reveal of the Shadow Blade too, I think. So that's not necessarily like a good thing, but it's like it's not bad for Dire right now. So things are kind of relaxed a bit. They've got control over their own jungle again. That ward is about to expire, which they're about to walk into. Hopefully they don't try and smoke up or anything right now. They don't have any smokes. It's just their 3 cores farming here.
Somebody forgot their talent.
Who was it?
Or Nisha, looks like. Unless she opted for something else instead of the agility or the health.
And no, she's not got it.
Oh, Cole.
Oh, Exotic Deer.
At that same moment, looks to move in for the deer. Needs another right click. Can't quite get it. Will the spirits do it? Yes, they will. LeBron barely able to live, but Faye will be able to get the finish. And as he gets that kill, then Gogi shows up and says, I will get redemption. And easily gets some assistance and gets it blasted down. Warlock, though, again, just a little late to show up with his rock friend. And we'll have to walk back in a way.
Klink shreds those heroes, but not to be.
Not to be, indeed. Elements, man, just really right up in the grill of aTTaX in their own neighborhood, too. Just put them in such awkward fights where all they really want is to just make one cool team fight happen. But man, Elements are just not making it. Look at them. Look at them. They're getting in their face. Jumping from Mitch now, committing on in, looking to get Nisha here. Suddenly a Wild Wisp shows up, and they still can't get the finish. Okay, is it rock time? Is it rock time?
Nah.
No.
He's not pressing it.
No, Marana's gone.
He needs the Klinks and the Venom to be there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not enough damage.
You need to have everything.
Heal, but, the Wisp will just heal someone up, and then he'll just kind of laugh at you.
Yeah.
Speaking of Wisp now, what has he got? Oh, right. Just looking at his quick buy, he's just going for Helm of the Dom. Oh, is that? No.
I mean, it is a Helm of the Dom and his quick buy, but that could be a mistake. I don't know. Does the new Helm of the Dom really benefit a Wisp?
I don't know the Helm of the Dom changes. It gives stats and it a tiny bit extra, but I don't know if it do anything for a Wisp really.
Buffer, I want to say, and faster. I mean, you can get an Alpha Wolf. I guess that's pretty cool. But here's a smoke play. aTTaX need a big fight here, and it's just going to be on a Wisp. I mean, you could say almost in that case that the Wisp is just kind of tanking the gank for the rest of his team.
But they are going to fight this. They are going to feel confident pushing the tower, I think. Especially with Klink's Deso.
Hail Mary! Oh my goodness, that almost catches. That catches, that Swift Ending is dead. But
yeah, if that catches, they definitely lose this tier 2 and they can't do anything without the Weaver. Weaver now has just put his Deso into his inventory, so... But they're not going to want to fight this. Mother of all team fight is a bit scary still. And he's just running around a bit, collecting a regen.
Flirting around for this tier 2, but not committing in yet without knowing what Elements is truly up to here.
What they really want to happen is they really want people to try and kill Veno, or one of the heroes in the front, and they want to counter-initiate with Rock, and then take the fight, and then take the tower. That's the ideal scenario, but I don't think they're going to get that. They have the Batrider Blink, but no Lasso, so that's not going to be too effective right now. They see the Nyx, and he knows he is seen, so no fight will come off this, I think.
Just tension instead, and well, Elements
going on a little adventure down here.
surrounding a little bit here. aTTaX, though, they can't afford to just kind of lollygag a bit. Oh my god, they might have just gotten the snipe onto the Warlock before any rock will be had. He'll be taken out of the game. Exotic Deer will just settle for hitting the R button and getting that Poison Nova out, but he gets quickly bursted as a follow-up. They're looking to go for the Bat Rider. Can they get him too? With Gogi's Rift pullback, it looks like they could. Spirits will be able to get the finish on that one, and 3 will drop from aTTaX. A smoke movement in, a hope to be able to make a big wombo combo happen, and again, they will miss out on that. And Element's really going to be on the up and up now.
Elements were just playing the game of find the Warlock, and eventually they did. So, as a reward, they get to kill pretty much everybody. And now Swift Ending starts to go towards more defensive items. He's going for the Lincoln Sphere. Wisp now probably buying something. The Echo Saber is now up for the Tiny. They need the bottom Axe. They need Warlock preferably to have level 11 and max Faithful Bonds. They also want
Radiant's top tower is
need a
under
bit more
attack.
stuff from Dire right now.
Oh, combo set up on for the Mirana here. Can they get it done? They will. Making it look effortless here as they get these picks. Every single one they seem to be able to come across. They kind of make quick work of. Elements in a fine position as they're getting closer to that 10k gold advantage, closer to 15k as far as XP goes. And what do you think with where this patch is? And you know, I know people could say there's always a difference between your pub and your competitive play, but is this game forgiving for this kind of snowball play? Or if a team's able to snowball this hard, is it more difficult to kind of get the momentum back?
I think maintaining map control is more difficult. I think it's very hard to just kind of, even with like having a Wisp and a Nyx or whatever, like they were still able to group up as 5 with Exotic Deer and the Baron. Like they were able to pressure this tower. They were able to group up and go for the Wisp pick off. So I think maintaining map control is harder if you're ahead, but I think I don't think it's necessarily more difficult to hold like a snowball advantage. And I'm starting to worry now, like what they're gonna really do now, because Warlock, the Rock is now scary, but it isn't as scary as it was like 5-10 minutes ago. The Clinks, he does a lot of damage, but the heroes he's playing against now, the CK's got like a point booster and a drum, the Tiny's getting more and more tanky, the Nyx is starting to get closer to an Aghanims now, he's got his Midas. It's getting to the point where Radiant are going to have enough items that they don't really have to worry about like the super death Warlock Golem Banner ulti thing that's going to happen to them. They can have a bit of leeway in these fights. Which, when they have that tiny bit of leeway, they can do a lot with that. Especially with an Aegis Weaver.
Yeah, we are fortunately just not seeing aTTaX being able to bring it together here, with lots of credit of that going to the way for Elements, as they always seem to be able to be creeping on in here. The assertiveness of Gogi throughout the game, I mean, I was banking that was the intention from the Venomancer to possibly be jungling at some point, but with the way that Elements have been roaming around between the Nyx and between Gogi CK, they always have to employ this like buddy-buddy system, but here they look to potentially make their move. They get the lasso pullback into a rock. This might be the best chance for aTTaX. They even line up the Venomancer ulti with the bonds. Can Elements withstand this one and still come out on top? They're looking to go for it here. Batrider's on chase. We'll be able to get the takedown of the Wisp before he can relocate out. Gogi heading south to make it away from trouble. The whole fight totally split apart here. Now they focus for Cole up in the top lane here. And this Tiny is stickied up. Can barely turn around. Just gets off any stun he can, but not going to be good enough. Two go down from the side of Elements. This was the best fight aTTaX could hope for. Only manages to claim the lives of, well, 3 now. But those are a lot of bounties going their way, too. I mean, look at the money they got off of that. Nearly 3k, over 3k of a trade.
Yep, they just press the button, and once the initiation is done, like, Nyx has pressed his buttons, Wisp has gone in to try and save the Nyx assassin. The Tiny and CK, like, they really can't do much after the initial go. Like, they need to kill 1 or 2 heroes with the Tiny combo, with the CK stun rift. Otherwise, the Veno and Batrider start taking the toll, and the Clinks basically just completely destroyed the Weaver in that fight. A Weaver with a Dragon Lance and a Desolator does not do anywhere near the same damage as a Clinks does, and Clinks kind of proved that, because he took the Aegis very, very quickly, and then he boned Weaver out of the fight completely out afterwards. So, and also, Wisp Helmet on is good because it gives attack speed aura and it gives 8 health regen in an aura as well, and I didn't know it did that, so good item.
So could we see this pop up a lot more in supports?
I only Wisp, I think.
Okay. Lasso here for Nyx. Tries to carapace it off. Not enough damage comes out from the Clinks, but extra safe here as Elements are going to even do the relocate pullback. Gogi, though, on chase. Carapaces the fire, which stuns down the bat, and that is why he hates Nyx Assassin just so freaking much, man.
Yeah, just good reaction time for the Nyx. If he doesn't get that carapace off, he dies in 2 seconds because of the Clinks, but he gets the carapace stun off on both of them, so he survives, and they get the pick off on the Bat Rider. Swift Ending is kind of alone here, but there's only really a Potom and a Warlock, so he can kind of do what he wants. And he's got his buddies, Nyx and CK to come with him. And CK's got his own little dog now.
He wants this tower. He gets it. Gets it fast, while back and behind. Gogi's in a lot of trouble here. Him and Nyx trying to make a gank play happen, and they end up eating a couple of ultis. LeBron trying his best to save Gogi on this one, but he is slowly getting withered away, and they'll be able to break him down. Exotic Deer with the double kill from that skirmish. Elements' gunfire doesn't seem to be as potent as the clock begins to tick here. Suddenly things are stringing together for aTTaX.
Alright, so Lynx is building towards his Skadi. He's going to get tankier and tankier. Like, all he needs to do is he needs to hit a HP threshold where he doesn't get bursted by the CK Tiny. And once he hits that point, as long as he doesn't get too messed around with by the Nyx, he's going to kill pretty much everybody. Like, anyone who's scaled, anyone who's got enough napalm on them is vulnerable to being blown up. Because they just can't get away from it. Their daggers won't matter. And you see here, he just shreds the Weaver, immediately forces him to back, and then he can probably get some damage on the tier 2 if they had a creep wave.
There's that level 3 death pack too, every 15 seconds. Just pops in a new one. Takes that one though for now and walks back out. They're not going to be able to get too much damage on that tier 2. aTTaX will just step back entirely and looks like go for a bit of a reset here. And back to the grindstone, if you will. As Warlock will be creeping closer to his level 2 ulti now. And yeah, then you have more potent rock action here. Venomancer obviously already had the Veil, has an Ags now. So, Elements, are they prepped for all this? Like, is a pipe probably necessary in this, in the near future? Or do you think they can get by without one?
I think no one can really build it. Like, the CK's pretty determined. Oh no, CK's okay. He's taken it upon himself. He is the pipe builder. He will do so. He's got it on his quick buy.
Yep. Yeah,
it's really nice having that information actually. So, Swift Ending. Got Lincoln's going for what I seem to be a Daedalus, and you can see it. So there's no doubt. Tiny's going for his BKB now. So they're just getting this next tier of items, but I think the Kinks is going to get the Skadi, and he's just going to be untouchable, really. As long as he doesn't get molested by the Nyx, which may happen. He might just get a Nyx on top of him with Carapace, and then he gets stunned up and followed on by the Tiny. But as long as that doesn't happen, and the Kinks get time to right-click, I think he has a pretty good time. Because there just isn't much armor between the heroes of Radiant.
I mean, could see. I just fear that because I haven't seen much of this game where it's been aTTaX able to kind of dictate the fights. A lot of the fights have obviously been kind of falling into their lap. If we see any sort of relative patience here from Elements, I could see Cole just trying to get in the face of Clinks a bit. I don't know if you have to like fluster him at that point so he's not able to kind of just machine gun his way through the team, but Mitch, mid lane, looking for the setup here. Relocate in, and it's nicely done. Leads him to the kill with the timing appropriately. Moran doesn't stand a chance.
Yep, and now losing the Potom there, I don't think they're going to feel confident going for this tier 2 top. Even if they did before.
Zox here trying to lay down some wards. They rush him with the drums, but they will not be able to get any sort of rift or pullback, and Venomancer steps all the way back and away. But
he does have his axe now, but no level 3 ult, so he needs to wait for that. Yeah, that's his kind of super Veno stage.
That's when it's 60-second cooldown too. I hate when you have to use it at 2nd level and you're almost getting that 3rd level. The extra minutes just really suck.
They really do. Okay, so this tier 2 mid is probably going to take quite a lot of damage, but I don't think they feel comfortable knowing that the Potom is back up. They have the Ags on Nyx, but they need to get some time where they can maybe get a pick off with Tiny or CK and then go in for the fight, because they still don't want to just brawl this right now. Because a lot of these heroes, like Tiny, CK, Weaver, like none of these heroes want to be the one that's caught with the Gale and ends up next to the Clinks, because that hero is not going to have a fun time. Maybe Weaver can get away with it, but any other hero is most likely going to die. Are they going to get the lasso? They can't. They have nothing to break Lincolns with, so...
Alright, and they get it taken down. Mid lane, a jump for Mitch here. There's going to be the bump back, and that will be the end of it here. Without any sort of follow-up detection, he's going to be able to make it away. But aTTaX not looking to kind of let that one pass so easily. Sorry, I'm going to get a fix here on the sound, apparently, that I'm going to be taking care of right now. Okay, should be good now. Sorry, guys. Apparently there was no audio when we were not talking, but I think I might have fixed that now. Nonetheless, though, a mission was had by aTTaX. They came down the mid lane. They wanted a tier 2. They got that. And now they're cycling themselves up towards the top, where we have Swift Ending doing a little bit of a split pressure here. I imagine set to race on back and TP out, but looks like back to the board here for aTTaX. The momentum beginning to shift just slightly. This was heavy-handed advantage for Elements up to this point, but Rhyme, it looks like aTTaX are just slowly evolving themselves into a nice potent late game here. I mean, they already have pretty good high ground defense too, so it wasn't going to be easy for Elements to kind of close this one out.
Yeah, I think it's going to hit the point where like Tiny's going to have his BKB, CK's he's going to have a pipe, and then it kind of gets a bit easier, but there is just so much damage on Dire that they really do need to get pickoffs. And they've been doing that almost all game, but they need to catch this Warlock, they need to catch this Vanna, and without doing that, it's going to be almost absurd to try and think of taking any fight right now.
Yeah, the pickoffs are not just coming nearly as easy here for Elements, and they have a lot of people on their team who really want to farm up, but there's just not a lot of farm options here. Unless they're kind of pressing on forward, so I know any moment that they're kind of waiting around a bit is just moments lost, and the momentum just kind of being taken away. Big item pickup though, is Faye's going to be grabbing his BKB now. That is en route. Is that a go item right now for aTTaX, as in, you know, let's pick this up and go beat some ass?
Clinks cannot die. If with the 10-second BKB, he is untouchable. He's got, with the Dark Pact, he's going to have 3k health, hit for 350 almost, and you see now. He's pretty scary. And they're not going to be able to catch the Sweeper, I don't think, but if they...
Well, they're going to cut him off. They're going to try to cut him off. He's racing straight down, trying to stalk him perfectly. Here's Faye, but doesn't look like they'll be able to get the nab. Weaver makes it all the way back towards the tower here, and Epi avoid any sort of confrontation. But you can just see by the way their body language is, if you will, before Elements happy to take any fight that was laid across them, but now are obviously a bit more hesitant, especially while the Rock is down, and Venomancer's now got his level 3 ulti. This is just not going to be an easy team fight. Chaos Knight has his hood, but Pipe is still in the works, and I guess just they want to make sure they have some more defensive measures before any future fights taken. But eyes on Roche here, and it looks like Elements are going to be making the move into it. aTTaX are nearby. I mean, Exotic Deer at least is going to try to scout things out with his wards, but now his team's coming in.
They're not going to get there in time. Things could just run in, but that's scary.
They're going. The stun's actually a miss. Faye runs in. BKB. And now they make the move. Swift Ending is going to be picking up the Aegis on this one, but they'll quickly lose Tiny. Faye goes to work, dishing out the right-click damage. Swift Ending is going to be forced back. Both him and the Wisp trying to duck out into a safer position. Gogi right in the midst of a fight as they split between the pit here. aTTaX not really eager to kind of rush up into the high ground. And that's what happens. Bat makes his move in, gets quickly taken down. Mitch now hides and burrows. But there goes Faye, right-clicking on forward, and now aTTaX are going to have to double back. That is just a hard shot to take on the chin. Swift Ending, though, continues to make chase and just easily takes down the Warlock on the back end of it. It's a nursing fight to kind of wait on out, but the rewards are there for Elements, and he still gets to hold his Aegis, too. Ooh, not for long
Takes the
though.
Aegis.
Jump in for Mirana, gets the Aegis snipe, and now they're looking to possibly go for Mitch, thinks about the burrow, and then changes his mind and gets back by the side of Swift Ending. Ooh, Mirana leaps up and away here. Still has the creep, but I was going to say might be able to make it away. Ooh, Swift Ending, man. He's a gamer.
Yeah, he's just kind of doing as much as he possibly can. He's going to get the Bloodthorn pretty soon, and he's probably going to use that to deal with the Potom every single fight. And Potom's nowhere near BKB or Lincolns or anything like that, so she needs to play far more carefully after the Weaver gets that item. And now, although his first use of the BKB wasn't very fortunate, the second use of the BKB, which the 9-second on the Tiny, might be slightly more successful, because they got a pretty easy line now. They've got Rock down for a minute. They probably want to group up, and I'd suggest taking this tier 2. It's pretty low, and they probably want to get access to the shrines.
Yep. Tier 2 in the mid lane goes down, and they can get rid of those shrines. AK also bring in a lot more money. Pipes up 2 on Gogi. Seems like a good go time for Elements. But
They just don't quite feel it.
they're just not feeling
Mitch.
it. Maybe it's the weather, but mid lane. Lasso pullback here for Mitch. Goes right into his burrow. Could carapace right now if he wants, but there is going to be instead the pullback there from Gogi. Quick leap away from the Mirana. There's the carapace. Will stun onto the bat, but jumping from phase, he pops the BKB and quickly shreds apart not one but two. Klink's just kind of be the hitman assassin right here in the midst of the fray. Swift Ending going to be forced to go into a time lapse. There's the Rift pullback. They're going to look to burst down the Klinks and they'll get it done. Swift Ending now godlike there as he gets assistance from both Cole and Gogi to get the finish on the little Bone Archer. Now TP's out for aTTaX as they go into full retreat mode.
3,000 health doesn't really do that much for you when you're Bloodthorned with a CKLT hitting you. Like, you just kind of tend to disappear when that happens. So Potom's going to push out this wave, try and get as much as possible before she has to come back and defend. Exotic Deer's got ulti up in 20. They pop the Fortify. Probably going to regret wasting that.
Yeah, might have been a bit of a misfire from maybe that mid tier 2, but whatever the case may be, Elements will just take the tier 2 and walk back out because it's time to get some shrines, baby. Shrine farming time. As this will earn an extra 150 gold into the pocket here of Elements. They take down the one. There's still one more standing down here, but they'll take their business to the top lane in the meantime. So this gets them on the upward swing once again as they continue to float between that 5 to 10k net worth advantage. Still not too overbearing in the game. It's not over yet. aTTaX still, as I mentioned before, have a pretty good high ground defense after all. And
I think Radiant are just going to get tankier and tankier now. They've got the Ghost Scepter on Wisp, so he no longer gets disintegrated by the Klinks. They've got, well, we know they've got the Ags already. They've got the Pipe now on CK. Tiny's getting close to AC. Weaver's looking towards a heart, but that won't be for a while. But Klinks, he's got Daedalus, and he's probably going to go towards Bloodthorn, but his damage has already gone past its peak. Like, he's gone past the scariest he'll ever be. So, at this point now, if Elements win a fight, then they get CKLT, they get AC, every building dies. If Dire win a fight, then they've got a Klinks that might get stunned by a Nyx or something like that. It's just, fighting is a lot more difficult now. They still got the Vanility, like, there's still a lot of damage that could be dealt, but they just need to be very, very careful.
And Elements seem to be kind of moving on forward here. Feeling pretty good about taking another fight, or at least their position in the game being a lot more defensive and having all those items prepped. As we migrate towards this back mid lane here. Oh, I never noticed, but it looks like we also don't get a new Roche timer, or we just have no idea. I mean, Roche, as I asked, he happened to pop up and say we have 5.5 minutes, but
yeah, you don't have a constant reminder to look at, which is kind of irritating, but maybe they'll fix that at some point. Maybe there's meant to be one. It just
I'm
isn't
sure
there.
it's on the list, just probably not high up on the list right now. But here's
Thanks
ATN.
DD, they might get a pick with this Batrider. He's got Force, he could pop Lincolns on the Weaver, but I think
Ooh, they're going to head up north here, real close to Mitch and Swift Ending.
They got Gem though, they know the Klinks is following them, or they should do.
They migrate
Are they going to run up?
and juked up north here.
One blink. No, he didn't blink the right way.
He's still there. He's still creeping in.
Could just
And I
get
see
killed.
ya. You're here. They spotted. They dusted. And they jumped in. Exogdir is going to be able to get off the Gale. Swift Ending realizes he's now in a fight where he is at a big disadvantage, and he is trying to run from 4 members of aTTaX right now, and there's no clear juking path. He gets hit up with a huge Starstorm, and eventually just gets chased on down. The Bloodhounds were out for aTTaX, and they were able to nab the little beetle. 76
the most
seconds
important
on the
kill they
buyback.
could possibly get.
Yeah.
And Clink's become stronger. They're probably going to get this tier 2 now. Warlock has his Glimmer Cape now, and he's probably... Warlock can start
Dire's
thinking
bottom
about
tower
items
is
past
under
the
attack.
14-minute mark, which is always quite
Radiant's
nice.
top tower is under attack.
Oh, okay, so there's a Yule's up on bottom, so they just got more stuff to control. And to save herself from the Bloodthorn,
Radiant's
because she wasn't
structures
quite in the
are fortified.
price range of the Lincoln Sphere at that point. Oh, Mitch is going to get the initiation, though.
Radiant's top
Jump
tower
in
is falling.
with Mitch, and a combo. They're going to be able to take out the Warlock before Chaotic Offering will be had. And now Element's looking to take the most of this opportunity. Gogi is going to be able to help get in the finish, as the takedown's going to be there for the Bat Rider. And there's going to be the committed Exotic Deer. Drops down the Poison Nova, but it does not deter them from being able to get the finish onto Faye. And one by one they go. Lockdown on for Mirana as they get the stun. She valiantly tries to leap back and away, but here comes a Hail Mary of a toss. It's Gogi right on her head, but she gets the Yules and the Blink. I love it as she makes it back out.
Exotic
But for the
Deer
rest of the
in.
team, though, not so good, as they are not going to be able to have as fancy of moves to make it away from trouble. 4-man wipe comes out. Elements do that also without their Weaver.
Yep, they got the tier 2, but they lose their Warlock, and they didn't get to use Lasso, and thinks, yeah, they just, without the Warlock, they just don't really have a team fight, even 4v5. There's just, the Tiny is tanky enough, the CK does enough damage that they don't really have enough to clear these illusions. They have AoE damage, but they don't have like the immediate burst to clear the illusions out. They don't have AoE disable in order to stop the CK illusions hitting people.
How dare you try to TP in while I'm killing your shrine. Swift Ending just peppers down the Bat Rider, and he is thirsty for more. Oh, relocate in, and Mirana's going to be able to get off the E-Blade. Blinks away, but the chase is on this time, my lady. You're not going to be able to escape, or have I still spoken too soon? She lives on, moves back under the tier 4, and will make it away. Wisp pulls the Tiny out from inside the base, but Swift Ending is not going to get the pleasure. Mirana again dancing around in front of him with the Yules, with the leap back. Oh my goodness, she's playing a dangerous game right now, but she continues to just make it away.
Warlock died again. He doesn't deserve this. No one deserves this. He's thinking of buying a 4-star. He's dreamed of this moment. After he completed the Glimmer Cape, there was a whole world of possibilities. And none of which he's going to get to see. Because Swift Ending is... although his creep wave is completely dead.
Oh, pull back on for the Mirana here. Yules and leaps away. God damn, she's elusive.
He's got it. He's got the item. Are you ready? They got the AC on Tiny. They've got the ultimate on CK.
Alright, let's see it.
We're entering a new age.
I want to see some 7.0 strats here. Uh-oh.
Ah, this is going to be good.
Oh, they might have to hold off, though. Team's in trouble. Swift Ending easily taken apart by Faye. And LeBron is going to be forced to TP back inside the base. Are his allies
just
going to
gonna
come
sack
nearby? I think they might have to. They want to get close enough for him to tether out from, but that would be too risky. Let's see if he finds a way out from this one. Yeah, nope. Bye-bye,
So
LeBron.
it goes. Bottom's trying to be annoying with the Tiny. She's got Gem, she's got a Yules, so... and she's got Arrow up. She might just go for the Yules Arrow right now.
There's the Yules. She's trying to line up the arrow. Yes. She'll get it. It's a close one, though, so the stun won't be too long.
They got the Lasso up, so...
She's able to get off.
might be...
Oh, the edge, not going to be enough. She barely lives, but she is going to be fine. Hides up in between the trees before any sort of extra catch of the spell. Oh, look at this. Chaotic Offering committed to get the grab onto Mitch. They'll pull him back as well with the lasso, and suddenly it's Elements up against the ropes, losing 4
hanging
all
on the tier
day.
3. And, yeah, Clinks has got money for Bloodthorn if he wants it, but I think he'll probably save buyback at this point. But with this Golem, they can pressure the tier 3. The Weaver's up in 20, the Nyx and the Tiny are probably the main AoE nukes to kind of hold off the push, so... or they might... I don't know, they're a bit split, they don't have the Podom with them, she doesn't have BTs up for 20 seconds, but I think they have time to push this. Does also have the E-Blade, so she is able to be the Wisp Hunter from now on. And that
Certainly
tower dies
so.
quite quickly.
Yes, it does, man. Look at Faye going in. This tier 3 is going to get dropped.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Warlock got gold. Oh, quite a lot of it.
He's got 1,200 gold now.
He's got
Looks
4
like,
stuff.
his 4-staff is going to be complete. Good for him.
Oh, I'm looking at the Warlock talents. He's skipped one.
Oh, he missed the opportunity for some movement speed or cast range, unfortunately.
But Roche is dying very, very quickly. So an Aegis on... I think Clinks maybe drops his boots for it.
Oh, you have your backpack now. So nice. Just throw something in the backpack, man. Take the Aegis. He won't.
No, they're going to give it to Exotic Deer, who disregards his Aquila.
Is that
Which I'm
like
sure he'll be
you give it
fine
to
with.
her, like hopefully you get 2 Poison Novas off in a fight, or
I think-
just throw yourself away and
think,
then Poison Nova on the return?
Well, the Batrider, like the Batrider and the Banner basically punish anyone that doesn't have a BKB in the fight at a given point. They are the heroes that allow Clinks and Podum to chase heroes. And I think just having him up, able to constantly veil and put Plague Walkers down, cancelling the blinks of the Nyx and the Tiny, just having this hero alive is just a great benefit. And it also means that they don't have to worry about him getting bursted, so he's always going to get his ulti off in a fight. There's pretty much no way, unless like they stun out of Aegis or something like that, that they're going to kill him twice and stop him. So just guaranteeing that you always have that ulti up, and you always have like 2,000 damage with Veil on every single hero, it makes fighting for Elements extremely difficult. Because what Elements really have in terms of teamfight, they've got a bunch of tanky heroes, and they've got some stuns, but they don't really have these like AoE mass damage things that ATN have. And they don't have that like one hero that can right-click everybody. They don't have the Clinks level of DPS that they've got going on. Because he's got Bloodthorn now, and he doesn't like people being anywhere near him. So
I wouldn't get near him. Man, that guy hits like a truck.
he really does. Almost 400 damage now. With Bloodthorn, he shreds people instantly.
Here comes
The range
aTTaX
tracks
now,
is
a
one.
game where they were falling behind, now looking to go for some Rax play here. One almost to fall here, the range so close to being taken apart. Is Gogi going to look to make his move? He still holds that Agnum's ulti. We'll have to see if he's going to be used on either the Weaver or the Tiny. It's 110 seconds, so you just can't keep casually throwing it out. Uh-oh. Cole takes an arrow to the bum. And now they're going to get the lasso. A pullback for Gogi here. Can they burst down the CK in time? Oh, they'll commit him with the Veno ulti on that one. This CK is dead for sure. E-Blade and everything. Maybe he just gets off his ulti before he goes. Nope. LeBron's here to try to help him out. They're committing everything they can. They'll be able to get the Warlock down, and they'll be able to take down the Aegis. But, oh, man, they get the Weaver. He might have to buy back to kind of get back into this fight. As Cole jumps on in, we'll be able to get the slide and the takedown of FY. Mitch goes into Burrow. They land up onto Exotic Deer, and we'll take out the Venomancer too. Arrow connection onto that one as Nisha continues to be that slippery little nugget. Heads back out and will TP away, but aTTaX are not going to be able to get a whole lot of base work done in addition to that tower, only able to bring that ranged Rax just a bit lower. But they hold. Yogi lives too, right? Did he live?
Yeah, he lived through that. Yeah. Oh no, he bought back. No, he died and bought back actually.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
I just swear he was alive, and it's like no, he. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
But he bought back for that, so I'd say that's still worth buying back on the. Just check buyback status to see who bought back. Just the CK. So that's not too bad. The CK's pretty much got the items of relevance right now that he will get. I'm gonna say that like Dai have a bit of a problem that they don't have enough single target damage, which is evident when like the Tiny just pops BKB, and when Clinks doesn't have his, he can't really do anything without fear of getting repeatedly stunned and comboed up. So as his BKB goes lower, they're going to be looking towards the Podum more and more for damage dealing. And she does have
man,
7k
they
gold,
used it.
so.
There it is.
Dire's middle tower
The Manta is out, or the
Dire's structures are
Look at those,
Illusion Army.
those trees. They're holding like strange half
they
trees.
look so messed up. I mean, they get the tier 3 down. How much work are they actually going to do on the Rax? They actually hit pretty hard. They're going to get the Rax down to about half of its life. Okay. I mean, was it worth it though for 110 seconds? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that was more under. Oh,
What?
that thing is in play now. You got the split shot arrow. So yeah, there might be lots of people getting 5-second stun now. Dota is a very strange place now.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, I was like, who are you talking? I was like looking at Clinks for arrows here. You're right. Oh, the extra sacred arrows here.
Oh, that's a hex. This is where Elements, their gold advantage, or their previous gold advantage now starts to show itself. Because they're the ones who can build their hexes on their offlaners. Like Bloodthorn coming out the bottom. I was expecting Dagon 5, but Bloodthorn's not too bad, but she's kind of going fairly glass cannon-y. But I guess that's alright, because the Clinks is the one that's getting focused most of the time anyway. And just having another disable for the Weaver, so the Weaver has to be very, very careful. She doesn't have a BKB, so like if he joins a fight and then he gets like used and 4 stuff for the Batrider, like he doesn't really have much to survive the Clinks whatsoever. Because when he was vulnerable and he didn't have Lincolns, Clinks killed him in 2 seconds. And that's just the thing about Weaver. Like Weaver's fine in mid game, fine for taking towers and taking early fights, but when he actually has to go up against other hard carries, he just doesn't do anything unless he's got like 2 items ahead.
Just trying to run around and take in all these talents that everyone's been able to kind of level up, as 25 is a reality for most of these heroes, and see what kind of game changing they can make here. But
I think Batrider's got some good ones. The Firefly duration allows them to like use it a lot more liberally.
ooh, Cole's been spotted. They'll both have to pop their BKBs. Cole's looking to make a break for the side shop here. Has some help nearby, but the rest of aTTaX are coming up from the south right now. There's going to be the relocate out. A swift,
the
quick
arrow
save.
almost caught Swift ending on the edge there. But they're
that does
gonna
look
just
like-
get out at the cost of the Wisp, I think.
Yes.
He's gonna be very dead. Oh, no.
Okay, they got the ults there from Nisha. Gets connection with the arrow, and the Wisp goes down, but better him, of course, than the Tiny and him and possibly the other members of their team. So they'll be able to live on and double back while they continue instead to try to pressure up this mid lane a bit. Suddenly,
Right,
here
coming through
comes...
mid lane.
Yeah, okay, here you go. Elements rushing in towards this top lane, maybe looking to catch aTTaX on their way back.
Oh, they might catch the Warlock here. That would be very,
Mitch
very bad.
making
indeed.
his move in. Can he get a hold of Warlock? They put the Hex instead. They'll stun them both up. They're putting their focus instead onto the Clinks. He's a much bigger and juicier target. Now they'll settle for the Warlock. He's going to be taken out for a minute. Jumping from Nisha, looking to get the burst onto the CK here. Chases him back quite a bit. And with that poison, he's in a lot of trouble. He gets the Manta off onto the Weaver. But at the same moment, we see a lasso pullback play here. Looking to go for Mitch. It looks like they'll get him down. That's a gem on the deck. Actually has to pass on the gem here. Those Weaver... Look at the Weaver illusions! Oh dear, be careful! Man. He's like, I don't give a shit. I want that gem. Gets it, though. Walks back and
Really
away.
does. There was a point where Weaver was like, after like when Warlock was getting focused down, Weaver was like, I'm gonna go on the Veno to make sure he doesn't do anything. And Veno had ulti on 2 heroes, so he was just like sitting there with his upgrade core going, just, you're not doing anything, leave me alone. He was healing for like 100 every second, and Weaver just wasn't able to do anything. And with this Octarine core, if he does get BKB, they can't kill Veno if he ultis more than 2 heroes, I think. During the course of that ultimate, he becomes effectively immortal.
It's ridiculous.
Although, yeah, he's going for BKB, but I think they do need a Shivas on their team. Like, a Shivas on Dire would be extremely good, but they don't really have anyone who can easily build into it other than this Venomancer, and he needs BKB because he's still liable to... I just think he should have a Shivas instead. He should be playing a bit greedier. And make himself like the Venomancer that if you don't focus will kill everybody, rather than the Venomancer that you could kind of go after, but leave him alone. There. Because it will make it easier for the Clinks and the Moran to get things done if...
Ooh.
Oh, arrow catches the Tiny, but the other arrows will catch a creep and go into space. You're gonna have to watch out when that ability goes off, because like there could just be in multiple initiations waiting to happen.
Yeah, just shoot them off into your jungle. You might just get some extra money hitting creeps, or you might just get a straying Elements member, which will turn into a game-ending gank.
It's kind of scary.
You know, it's crazy. It's like I'm just going to casually arrow sweep the jungle here. I'm very anxious to see how she likes to utilize
Roshan
them.
has spawned again. He's decided to beat up the range creep that walked near him, so...
Moonlight
we'll see
shadows
that
out.
happening.
aTTaX want to get in there and get that done. Swift Ending's nearby. So close, they don't even know it. There's the arrows to fly. Yeah. Cole's right between it, though. Oh, they get the lasso pullback for Mitch as he hides into his burrow. He gets easily blasted down. And now Elements have to kind of reconsider if they want to engage this or not. 80 seconds, no buyback on their Nyx Assassin. Are Elements going to go for this one? Dodge the arrows, though. Actually get connection on the CK.
That's just so silly. But Roshan is dying, and Veno hasn't used anything yet, so they just can't contest it. They might try and run in now with Pipe, but it's too late.
Thinking about it here, they round all the way up and over. A jump in from Cole. There it goes. It's going to get nabbed up. No, it's not been picked up yet. The Dire get the last hit. The Aegis is still on the ground inside the pit. No one's grabbed it yet. Someone's looking to go in there, and it's going to be the Bat Rider trying to pick it up. Has he grabbed it? No, he still hasn't grabbed it. Now he got it. Oh my god, jump in from Elements. They quickly wipe the floor with 3, and they're not done yet. As they move on forward for the Mirana, they'll be able to bring her down. The only survivor is our new Aegis holder in the Bat Rider as he flies up back to base.
And Nyx will buy back, and they want to threaten Rax.
They want to go for the game.
What's the buyback status now?
Buyback status now?
Only 2, and the Klink's on the bottom, so the Bat Rider hasn't died yet, but the Warlock and the Veno just don't really have them. So, yeah, so it turns out it wasn't too late. Tiny can go and kill the Klinks. Yeah.
Oh wow, when those illusions were up, they really hit the tower. Alright, this Rax is down. They're not going to buy back. Not for this one. Not for the mid lane. Our Elements going to keep moving in.
They go for the second, maybe, but...
And they're going up north. They're going to go for it here. Buybacks might be required here if ATN want to stay alive in Dota Pit. They're going to have to buy back. There's the Klink's buyback. A jump in now. There's the lasso. Pull back with his BKB right into the arms of the Mirana. And now with the damage coming out from the Klinks, it's going to require the Ethereal, but not going to be enough to be able to keep the Tiny alive. He gets shredded down, and Elements will walk away with those winnings. Take down to the mid lane set of Rax, a top tier 3. There's a lot of money going the way of the Radiant side. And buybacks were also forced out, so... Huge swing right there.
2 buybacks and a set of Rax, yeah. That's all because Tiny managed to kill the Klinks off before the Aegis got taken. So,
that was surprising.
Like, I really didn't expect that to happen. I thought they had complete vision around it, but Tiny managed to circumvent the whole arrow vision and ward vision that was going on. Then he managed to get close enough. It was also the Weaver bug that gave him vision to know exactly when to go in. That was also quite important. And Mirana's just going to kill a shrine. She decides that she needs to do something after she's brought back, so they're going to move towards the spot lane. I don't think they really... They have Golem in 30 seconds, so they could look for a fight at this point. I think if they want to have like a really good chance in this game now, they probably want to wait for their buybacks, but I think they might just take the chance, like, if we can get a fight now, we could kill 2-3 heroes, force a buyback, and then bring this game back to an even state.
Here comes ATN on the prowl now. Pushing out this bottom lane, they shift their movement back up and directly through the mid here. Elements nearby, kind of farming out their ancient stack, but hesitation here from aTTaX a bit. They do have, of course, the Golem Rock here ready to go.
Invisibility.
Level 3, but still waiting for that Wombo combo to really be able to line up here. Elements have been really good at being able to pick off those pesky backliners, and just doing deceptives, like being really good at deceptively being able to just attack them from behind or have the element of surprise pretty much this whole game.
Yeah, it's all about like Elements just taking fights and going on people, and then like what happens after that is completely up to alternate attacks, really. I'm looking at Klinks now. At level 25, he gets the plus 70 strafe attack speed rather than the attack range, which I think is understandable because I think heroes aren't really running away from him, they're just running at him en masse, so he needs to do as much damage as possible within his BKB, and making his strafe better is a good way to do that. Ooh, Weaver's paused the game, and as a result, I'm now looking at his level 25 talent. 200 Shikuchi movement speed, so he becomes, apart from Bloodseeker, when everyone's low, the fastest moving entity in all of Dota 2.
Nice. They even raised the move speed to this patch. 550, I believe it is now.
But is haste 550 now?
Yes.
Ah. Okay.
So the cap has been lifted a bit. But we are going to get back and underway after just a brief and mild pause here. We have aTTaX all together at this point, looking at their smokes here. Screw smokes, we have Moonlight Shadow, so they'll just use that instead. Heading right up towards the top lane. Elements are in the lane right now. Cole and LeBron, the second they're dropping down the wards is preparation. That's when they strike.
Oh, it's so important Tiny got out there actually. Like,
Yeah.
if Tiny dies there, then it allows them to push 2 lanes in and then get to a point where they can start threatening base. But Weaver's now gonna just force people back. He's gonna make the bottom TP down, and he's probably gonna spam after that point.
Okay, swift ending.
Oh,
He
he's
is
gonna
trying to be a cheeky one
die
here.
horribly.
Bottom lane, trying to go for a tier 3, but the second he heads into the base, they make their jump. He was not anticipating they were going to be there, but look who they've spotted in the mid lane. Quick destruction of the Warlock. He'll be out for a minute without a buyback, and that means no chaotic offering, but there's Faye. Able to cut him off from the front. It's going to be forcing out the Ghost, but not going to be good enough for the CK. He gets shredded apart, and they'll get the takedown of Cole. Double kill for Faye on this one. Uh-oh, scary for Elements here. They have buybacks on all 3 of those heroes, with the exception of Wisp. And they have to set all the way back.
Does Venom just buy his Beekeeper and they just run at the buildings? Well, I think if they die here, then the game just ends, so be very careful of that. Buyback status. Yeah, the Clinks and the bottom, they don't, so...
Radiant's
Ghost
middle tower
commits in
is
for
under
one
attack.
already, but Clink's is going to work on the racks. There goes the burrowed stun. Good connection there. Follow-up is on the Hex. Can they get the Clinks down? Yes, they can. He got a little too excited trying to move into the base a little too early. Didn't spot out that Nyx stun, and that leads to his demise. He's out 100 seconds. No buyback on this Clinks. Back the other way we go. Here comes Elements now towards the Dire side.
Yeah, they need to do like some kind of miracle defense without this Clinks. They don't really have, without the Clinks, they don't have the damage to kill Tiny through his BKB. They don't have the damage to punish the Nyx.
Oh, just as she realizes there's someone in front of her face, she gets quickly hexed up, and now frantic to make it back out. Venomancer looking to help as well, drops his own ulti, and one by one they begin to crumble. Looks like it could possibly be the beginning of the end. Warlock says, just stop there! Drops down the chaotic offering. Where'd the golem go? Golem gets summoned, he gets killed right away, and here comes Elements looking to go for the jugular right into those tier 4s. Buyback going to be forced out from the Veno, but they have no Clinks and no Mirana buyback, and that could mean no chance of defending here.
These tiny illusions.
Look at these tiny
it's so
illusions.
hard.
Oh man.
Has fallen.
And that will do it. 2-0. Elements Pro Gaming will move on into the lower bracket final and face up against Alliance in our next best of 3.
Yeah, that game just felt like it could go either way for a very, very long time. And then all it took was one bad fight for one team and then forcing buybacks, and then Clinks just got overeager and just got hexed and died. And then without the Clinks there, they don't have the damage to kill the tiny Ultra CK. So, I think, I wouldn't say it was like a comedy of errors, but I just say like it was just a bunch of mistakes that kind of built up and then like culminated in just buildings dying very, very quickly to the tiny.
I mean, Elements certainly played this one very aggressive here. What do you think about Gogi's roaming CK in the early game? You know, I mean, I don't
think
know
it was-
if Steno had planned to be a jungle originally, but obviously wouldn't have been able to bin one with Gogi in the game.
Yeah, I think they had very, very aggressive lanes. They had like Weaver and Nyx, just heroes that want to fight quite a lot. And then they were just dragging the CK around. Like, every single lane that they had could kill with a CK stun. So, just having him like buffed up by the Wisp as well, like Clinks couldn't fight him whatsoever. The Warlock was very, very ineffective in the early stages without Golem. Like, it took was like 20 minutes until they could fight against that. So, yeah, it's just been quite effective, really. They kind of tapered off a little bit when Clinks got really, really strong, but then it came back into its own again when he got the Ags and he could make Weaver illusions, although those did die fairly quickly. But I don't think we saw the full potential of it.
Definitely still a growing period in Dota 7.0 and its meta as we continue to see these teams just trying to, you know, be their own little mad scientist and try out all these new parts of the game and figuring out what suits them, what works with their playstyle. Elements, I don't know, the destruction, the base sieging. We'll see if it's a trend that does continue for them into the next round, because they have to face up against Alliance. Rhyme. We get to cast Alliance playing 7.0 now. I don't know if you got to catch any of their other games, but they're notoriously known as the team that always seems to find the bugs. So I'm excited. Are you excited to see Alliance versus Elements Pro Gaming?
Yeah, I want to see it. I think Alliance have had a lot of time to kind of... They played a lot of games on this patch, I think, already, more than most teams.